Yes, hi, hello, and welcome to the Bold Wave. So, today we're going to simply look at a very small thing, a very small aspect that you have to incorporate in your life so that you just live a lovely life, right? And that concept is one that you've actually heard of. It is called self awareness. Yes. Now, when we look at self awareness, we look at the ability for you to understand the things that you love, the things that trigger you, the things that make you happy, the things that are your weaknesses, and those that are your strengths, right? So that is simply self awareness. Yeah, it's that simple, it's that easy. So, of course, it requires you to sit down with yourself and look at the things that actually work for you and those that don't, and then look at the things that trigger you, the things that make you angry, so that when people do them, they actually don't affect you. Yeah, it's like you knowing yourself and someone comes and tells you that they don't like this about you. You simply knew it already. Exactly. So that is self awareness. Or sometimes people can actually just come and tell you something just to piss you off. But if you're someone who is self aware, you'll just brush it off because you know how to react better. You know your weaknesses and you know your strength, right? So that is simply it. And maybe looking at it again, we look at it in the stages that it happens, right? First, you start with moving as a team. Probably let me date back to university because it was the most interesting time yet of our lives, most of us, right? So you've just reached campus, and in year one, you're literally having so many friends, right? If it's going out, you go out. If it's, I don't know, missing lectures, you miss as a team, things like that. And things actually worked out in this group nature because you all love the same things, or the same things, the same people will trigger the whole of you, and then you sit down and talk about this person. You all dreamed to be the same in the same place, right? And that is the first step of self-awareness. But along the way, you realize that you started to grow, and most of you right now are actually having around 2 or 3 friends. That is simply because you got tired and eventually you started finding yourself. Year two, probably, if you were 10 in year one, year two, you're now 5. And year three, you could probably be two or by yourself. Some people are by themselves, some people are one, some people are two. So that is how the stages of self awareness go. It is also a journey that you take, but you actually don't know. So eventually, when you reach your third year, you realize that, you know what? I'm actually supposed to do this on my own. And that is the final step called individualism. And then you start to want to find out the things you like to do when you're alone, the things that make you happy, the things that make you sad, the things that are actually your strengths. So that you can use them best to make yourself happy. And simply that is what self-awareness is. But it also looks at different aspects, such as your social awareness, right? How are you when you are around people? Okay, let's just break it down simply, right? There are 3 types of self awareness that you must know to a personal level. The first one is being private awareness. When you are alone, are you still an integral person? Do you still do the things that you say you're going to do without people looking at you? Hmm? Or you just simply say it in public so that you can get some, I don't know, gratification from it. So, private awareness looks at you as an individual. Do you still stick to your values? Do you say that when you're alone behind closed doors, are you still the same person that everyone else knows? Mm, you don't have to answer me, of course. That is just you as a person, right? Then, secondly, we look at public awareness. How do you carry yourself in the public? Are you presenting yourself on the best front? Are you talking to people well? Do you actually realize that you need to be empathetic to people around you? There is a funny thing that actually goes on. Everyone is having it rough, should I say. Everyone is going through something. But because you're going through a lot, you may think that you would have to be rude to people so that they can stay away from you. Well, public awareness requires you to actually soften, to become more soft to people around you, right? So that you can be able to live harmoniously. And that is simply what public self-awareness looks at. How are you dressing? Yeah. Now that you're becoming older, probably already old, how are you presenting yourself to people? You have a meeting and you're wearing a very, I don't know, high slitted skirt. Probably you're going for an interview and you didn't get a haircut. Of course, people won't respect you because that already gives off the impression that you do not respect yourself. And it's actually funny when I look back to uh, private and public awareness back then at campus. These are the days you'd wear a crop top, guys, and move around in the streets of Kampala, and you feel so confident. But right now, it just, there's an ick that comes out when you see it. I think that's why it's so easy to know to see and identify a person at campus, because yo, that's, it requires some level of, I don't know, confidence to still do the same things. That is why when you look at awareness again, that's why your tastes of clothes have changed in this day and age, because you just want to show yourself, to give the public a different image, right? And that is a concept known as self-branding, how you want people to know you, how you want people to view you. Because if you want to command respect, you must give it first, and you must respect yourself as a person. If you're someone who is so quarrelsome, and every time something triggers you in the public, you're going to quarrel, I don't know, show people where you come from, of course people will not respect you. That's the truth. You either just keep quiet and walk away, because nothing they've said will take anything away from you, and vice versa. And whatever you say back won't take anything away from them, right? And one thing when it comes to public awareness, you should be reminded that everyone is entitled to an opinion about you, good or bad. That's just how the world works. But that doesn't mean that just because someone has something to say about me doesn't make it my truth, you know? People just see what you show them. That's what I always tell myself. They don't know me, they don't know you, they don't know you, they actually don't. Even your own closest friends still don't know you, because this front that you have for them is not the same front that you have for someone else. That's why when you interact with different people, people always say that I actually didn't know you're like this, because the other day I saw you, you are kind of giving off these vibes, you know? It's because that is what you have chosen to show them. So when you're in this quest of growth, development, always look at how you handle people, your public awareness, right? How do you speak? How do you, I don't know, when you're angry at someone, how do you portray the message? And the third one comes down to your emotional awareness. And this is one that is actually really hard to deal with, because sometimes you, I love to relate this to bothered guys. You wake up in the morning and you're going to work, and then you meet a border guy and he's just outright rude there and then. And you're like, some people actually get pissed. It can piss you off for your whole morning. But if you're someone who has some level of emotional awareness, you should know that they did that for them, not for you. And that has nothing to do with how your day is going to transgress, right? So when it comes to emotional awareness, it's understanding your triggers, the things that make you happy, your strengths and your weaknesses. And if it's your strength, and maybe your strength is in speech, well, make sure that you are the best that there is. You know, practice your art. If it is in music and you know that once you hold the microphone you can sing, then do just that and make sure that you are the best. And whereas the reason why you get to know yourself when it comes to strengths and weaknesses is so that you can just live a happy life knowing yourself as in yourself. Let me tell you, for example, if you've met someone new and you guys are having conversations, sometimes someone can ask you, what do you actually like doing? And you do not know, because you're used to doing things in a group with friends around. Well, that should stop in 2024, guys, because 2025, guys, you must be able to know yourself. Someone shouldn't walk up to you and tell you that you are this way, and this way, and you start to believe it. And it's actually funny, but your brain starts to believe what people tell you. So that is what we are trying to fight in knowing yourself. And just invest in your knowledge, your own knowledge. Want to know better for yourself so that these things do not become a problem to you. And maybe one reason why you should be self aware is so that you can live a harmonious life with yourself. It's so that you can protect yourself from things that actually don't serve you. Hmm? These situations of you always meeting people and just jumping on the loop, those things of peer pressure, they should group influence. They should stop in 2024. If you're someone who is aware of yourself, you'll be able to know what works for you and what doesn't, guys. Maybe your friend brought a very expensive bag, a Gucci bag, and you're broke, but next week you want to buy the same bag. Why? You don't even like Gucci to start with. So those are the things that will save you when you start to learn more about yourself. So please do invest in your personal time. What do you like to do when you're alone? What? Do you probably want to go for a jog? Do you want to listen to music? Do you want to cook yourself a very gorgeous meal? Do you want to take a long bath to just wash off the stress? That is what self awareness looks at. And if you are able to understand the concept of self awareness and embody it with with your values and culture, then you are definitely going to be unstoppable. For the sky is your limit. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something and I hope you will work towards being a better person in 2025. Have a lovely one and enjoy the festival.